So, you're gearing up for the Certified Medical Assistant Certification exam? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to crack the code on this crucial test and help you swap that exam anxiety for some real focused confidence.
Look, you have put in the work. You've dedicated so many hours to your classes and your training to get right here. And now, there's just one final hurdle standing between you and your certification: the exam itself. This is your moment to make all that effort pay off.
And let's be real, this exam is meant to be a challenge. It's comprehensive for a reason. But here's the thing, it is not some impossible barrier. It's more like the final climb on a mountain you've already been training for. And the first step to conquering it is knowing the path ahead.
All right, so let's get into it. We are going to pull back the curtain and break this exam down piece by piece so that there are absolutely no surprises when you walk in on test day. You're about to know this thing inside and out.
First up, the big number. You're going to be looking at 200 multiple choice questions. That's a lot, right? It means your endurance and your focus are going to be just as important as what you know. And how much time do you get for those 200 questions? You guessed it, 200 minutes. If you do the math, that's an average of exactly 1 minute per question. So pacing is going to be absolutely everything.
So where do all these questions come from? Well, they're split across 3 main areas that mirror what you'll do on the job. First, you've got your administrative topics, think billing, coding, all that good stuff. Then there's the general category, which covers things like communication and legal and ethical issues. And finally, the biggest piece of the pie, the clinical section. This is the real heart of the exam, testing you on patient care, procedures, and pharmacology.
Okay, so we know the format, we know the topics. But what do these questions actually feel like when you're in the hot seat? Let's run through a super quick demo. 1 question from each of those domains.
All right, first, an administrative question. A patient's insurance requires prior authorization for a non-emergency MRI. The medical assistant schedules the test before obtaining authorization, and the claim is later denied. What is the most likely reason for the denial? Take a second. If you said C, the authorization requirement was not met, you are spot on. This tests a really practical skill, making sure the paperwork is done right to avoid problems for everyone. Next up, a clinical question. A medical assistant is preparing the exam room before the next patient is brought back. Which action best supports efficient clinical workflow and infection control? What do you think? The right answer here is C, cleaning and stocking the room between patients. It's about safety and efficiency, keeping things moving smoothly while making sure everything is sterile.
And for our last one, a general question that's all about communication. A medical assistant is obtaining a patient history, but the patient keeps giving vague answers and appears distracted. Which communication technique is most appropriate to improve the accuracy of the information collected? The best move here is B, using open-ended questions followed by clarification. You're not just getting a yes or no, you're actually getting the details you need.
So you see what's happening here, right? These aren't just random trivia questions. They test your judgment in situations you'll actually face. It's less about pure memorization and more about application. So the big question is, how in the world do you prepare for that?
Well, that brings us to the key, the secret weapon, really. The tool that bridges the gap between just knowing the material and being truly ready to perform under pressure on exam day.
I'm talking about a great resource called Easy-Quizzz. It's a prep platform built for one thing and one thing only: to simulate the real CMA test experience and help you build that rock-solid confidence you need. So what does it give you? It gives you the exact tools you need to nail this. There's an online web simulator that feels just like the real test. There's a mobile app so you can study on the bus, on your lunch break, wherever. And you get a bank of over 400 up-to-date practice questions that cover all the key domains we just talked about.
And this slogan really just says it all. Practice wherever, whenever you want. That's the whole idea. Your prep needs to fit into your life, not the other way around. This is how you turn those little moments of downtime into serious progress.
Look, at the end of the day, your path to becoming a certified medical assistant starts with smart, effective preparation. The tools are right there for you. The only question left is, are you ready to begin?